What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be making another Chainlink market update video, and we have a few things to talk about. I'm going to be going over some indicators, looking at market cipher B, and I'm going to be looking at Chainlink compared to the rest of the market, compared to Bitcoin, seeing how it's stacking up against those two, and just overall talking about where I think we are in the market and if we may have put in a bottom recently and if we may be able to start some sort of uptrend. Now, first thing I want to talk about with Chainlink is the fact that we have yet to exit this downtrend that we are in. You can see we have not put in any higher lows or higher highs, unlike Bitcoin, which seem like they could potentially be starting some sort of uptrend here. At least we have some higher lows. We still haven't seen that from Chainlink. We just recently actually put in a lower low, which happened to go lower and put in a lower low than the summer lows. And we have since rebounded. We're back above the summer lows at this point, but we are kind of finding resistance at these summer lows, which could be scary, but I'm going to be going over some indicators which I think could point to some upside. And what you'll notice about this little downtrend that we're in, we're actually forming a falling wedge here, which, as you may know, typically is a bullish reversal pattern. Typically, they break to the upside. Obviously, there's no guarantee of that, but they are thought to be bullish reversal patterns. And you can see Link has been respecting this falling wedge pretty well. We have lots of touches off of the bottom here, actually 4, and 2 touches off the top. And the fact that we only got 2 touches off the top makes me think it's actually possible we come up and reject off it a third time before we potentially break out of this. And since we have yet to break the downtrend, of course, we still run the risk of putting in a lower high and then potentially another lower low. Now, looking at market cipher B, we are about to get a weekly green dot. You can see the VWAP is working its way towards crossing over the zero line, and it looks like it's going to do it pretty soon here. And something that I saw that's actually pretty interesting is it seems like we could get a RSI cross on Chainlink's weekly time frame, which, looking back, is actually extremely rare. We've only seen the purple RSI cross at the top a few times, and that leads to these little green areas, but it looks like we could potentially get a cross here. I wouldn't put too much weight on it, but if we see this crossover, could be pretty interesting. And overall, we're still seeing the weekly money flow decreasing, which is to be expected because we have been in a downtrend for quite some time. But I'm actually pretty surprised with how high up the weekly money flow actually is. Bitcoin's looks like it's about to cross into the negatives, but Chainlink's still is kind of hovering decently high up there. I mean, the only other time we were at this level was back in 2019. And now looking at the daily time frame, we did print bullish divergences on the daily time frame as we came down into this little box of support that I had marked out. And we came a little bit down below it, but we did get a pretty nice bounce off of this area, and we were forming bullish divergences as we were doing it. And even though we came down to put in lower lows than the summer lows back here, it does seem like the money flow is overall increasing on the daily time frame here. Looking at this most recent one, it seems like we kind of bottomed out at the same place that the money flow's been at. But looking at the money flow back at these summer lows, you can see the money flow kind of increasing on the bottom. And we seem to have put in higher lows in the money flow compared to back in the summer. But it does look like we have the potential to print a daily red dot in the not so distant future. You can see the VWAP is starting to curve over. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cross over and print a red dot, but it is starting to curve over and slow down as we're finding resistance. So if we end up coming lower, we'll probably print a red dot here. And now looking at the 4-hour, we did recently get a 4-hour red dot, but there were no bearish divergences, so nothing to make me think we should see a massive correction. And overall, the money flow on the 4-hour looks pretty good. It is overall increasing, and we did just get a cross to the positive, but it actually just crossed back over. But overall, it does seem like the money flow is increasing, so hopefully we can continue putting in higher lows in the money flow. And we did see bullish divergences as we came down to put in these lows. And overall, it seems like the momentum is increasing on the 4-hour. We could come down with this more recent momentum wave and put in a higher low and kind of continue this momentum shift towards the positive direction. Overall, we're seeing pretty promising indications. The weekly time frame seems like it's about a bottom. The daily, we were printing bullish divergences, and the 4-hour money flow looks pretty good. The momentum looks pretty good on the 4-hour. But we are still in this downtrend, and we are still putting in lower lows, and we still have yet to put in any higher highs. So until we are able to break this downtrend, we still do, of course, run the risk of putting in lower lows and continuing this downtrend. But with Bitcoin and the rest of the market looking like they could potentially be bottoming out and beginning some sort of uptrend, I am still remaining hopeful that we can do the same for Chainlink. But if not, if some of my other bags end up outperforming Link, I will be happy with the opportunity to accumulate cheaper. I don't know what's going to happen in the short term, but I am extremely optimistic for Chainlink in the long term. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I really appreciate all of the support, and I will see you all on Sunday for my next video.